became a Kokosi in 1988. In 1988, basically we derived from Fochville, but it's from Eastern Cape and so on. Now in 1988, Modderfontein was just a small township closer to the old township in Mukokwini. Normally Londa bine Daganyana, Invulaminetile and all of that, bine Daganyana, so the place was not conducive. In fact, it was an informal settlement. From 1988, Sledi Lapaya, number 90, I think it was 1990. They were relocated as we provincial. There was a fight amongst the Nansika between the IFP, Inkatha Freedom Party, and the ANC. Remember, Mause Barren, we are closer to the old office. And old office, it is in front of Ama hostels. Ama hostels normally in those days, Bekhlala Amazul. And normally Amazul are to be seen as Inkatha Freedom Party. So when the ANC fight the freedom by the time, I think it was a political freedom by the time. In fact, there was this scenario that says that Bafuna Bafana, Inkatha Funa Bafana, Sinubulala Bafana, and all of that to the entire Kokosi and so on. So our parents, by the time they had to decide to take us somewhere else in other township where there's quietness and so on and so on. And indeed, the society started amongst ourselves as young boys by the time. This is a variety of areas, Maplazi and so on. A promise time on those days. It was even prior 94 by the time. 1992, then the government had to decide to take us to a riverside. Riverside was another informal settlement. The place was not conducive as well, because that's why I'm saying it was an informal settlement in, I think, 1992. In 1992, South Riverside. And then the Riverside, it was a very normal place, informal settlement and all of that. From 1992 to 1993. It's in 1994. The government also had to relocate her to Extension 1. Sapuma 1994, Saya Extension 1. But in Tobesibona, as young people, as young boys, by the time we were and everybody, our parents, they were very happy to say Mandela was released, but we did not get exactly what was happening by the time. Mandela was released, and Mandela Maga released why, and what was going to happen, and so on. But the mood, as a Extension 1 and the entire society was very fine. People were a little bit very happy. In fact, they were happy and so on. But by the time, we were very young and so on. I continued studying at Riahona by the time, again, Kokosi, so to speak, and so on. We continued to our own life and so on. Until such time we grew up and then went to Tokito Comprehensive School. To Tokito Comprehensive School, we're not interested in politics and everything. We're living our own lives and so on. But you could see that Ikasi, it's underdeveloped, there's no facilities, government facilities, and so there's no libraries, there's no recreational for young people and so on. But by the time when you grow up, you could not consider those things, because we are just a young person, then we are moving around and so on and so on. I had to decide with my family and go and finish my grade 12 in Fochville Civil Community. And when I finished my schooling, then I came back, then I got the job in the mining industry, South Deep, in 2010. I think in 2010, not in 2010, I think in 2008, yeah, 2008 I got the job there. Then I worked there for something like 2 years. And then I retrenched. They retrenched us 2010. Yeah, 2010. 2010 I had to come back to my place where I stayed, Ekai, in 2010. Then when I arrived here, and I started to say that as grown up men now, I had to say but you look, Ikasi is not developing. Still, Ikasi, Kokosi, Siyazi, and all of that. You understand? But no matter of the fact, there were some areas like a workstation 4 which has been created and so on with those comrades, Omakoba, in terms of the background. Because Omakoba, by the time they were politicians and so on. The thing is, Omakoba by the time they were strong activists as a class. We actually followed them without even knowing what is ANC all about by the time, because they were cadres, comrades of the ANC. But the most powerful person around those days were Umakoba, because Umakoba, we understood that Umakoba is the one that have tried his level best. And at some stage, not say Saibonanya, as we grow up, Umakoba is the one that is pushing the township, Kokosi location, and so on. So Umakoba would be everywhere else. Sometimes we wouldn't attend the meetings, Tina, but you would see, you would also hear, Umakoba was having the public meeting there, sharing the information, the government and all of that. But by the time, we were not very interested. Well, as I was saying to you, after 2010, me being retrenched in the mining industry, I came back at home. When I came back at home, I realized that the township was the very same township. There was no development and all of that. When I speak about the development, when I'm speaking about the sports facilities, there was no any proper sports facilities. There was no libraries in terms of advancing our personal capacities in education, and there was no West Coast, your TVET whatsoever, and by the time there was no your 24 clinics, service clinic, and so on and so on, and sports grounds, to be sports ground, it's a gravel ground. There was no stadium and so on. It wasn't now. In 2011, I had to resolve to say, let me go back to the organization, the ANC. Let me be the active member of the ANC in 2011. Then I went to the branches of the ANC. I think by the time the branches of the ANC in 122, they called it in Oxondonga branch. Then I went there. As I went there, I became the member of the mother body. I was also the member of the ANC Youth League by the time, in 2011 basically, yeah. Then we pushed the ANC by the time we pushed the ANC, but only to find that in the ANC, there was no any vibe, there was no programs run as assigned to them as politicians and so on. Yeah, I spoke to my elders. They said to my elder, the elder politicians would know. I wanted to know politics, and please teach me. They said, no, you must go and deal with those issues as in the ANC Youth League. Because by the time I did not know, politics is not all about people teaching, them teaching you or mentoring. I did not know anything by the time, Then I went to the ANC Youth League. Because by the time I would feel that the ANC Youth League is as young as I am, then I know, obviously, we'll exchange ideology moving forward. When I arrived in the ANC Youth League, the ANC Youth League was very, very, very poor by the time, 2011. Then I had to get inside with some other few comrades, Comrade Betuelo, or Matling, Comrade Matling, and this other lady called Comrade Matling, and so on. We mixed together, we tried to mobilize now young people by the time in 2011. And indeed, to mobilize people in the ANC Youth League was boom. Meaning the ANC was like vibrant by the time. There was programs that would normally push and so on, cleaning the township and making some door-to-door, telling people about the ANC, how it is important, and how the ANC is going to ensure that it's going to develop their own lives and so on and so on. That was 2011. We did that, those programs. We even attended some of the programs in the region, the ANC Youth League regions and so on. Mixing some other comrades in Kutong of the ANC, about Comrade Mamsi and so on and so on. That's where they realized that, hey, the ANC Youth League now is coming up and so on. It's becoming vibrant. They deployed Comrade Digozi to come and destabilize the ANC Youth League, to come and destroy the ANC Youth League by the time, because they realized that these people are moving now. It was deployed to us, and indeed, the ANC 2012 was collapsed. He came then collapsed the ANC Youth League like nobody's business. But we realized it after that this person was deployed to come and collapse the ANC Youth League by the time. We were not aware, because we were now engaging together with the community and so on and so on. Now I realized to say, these people they are blocking us. It means they don't want any progress in life. In particular, they don't want the ANC Youth League and the ANC generally to grow moving forward. Now I realized individually, as I was sitting at my place and said, but my primary objective, because I've identified some of other developments that I think that the ANC was supposed to advocate for, then it means now the ANC Youth League is now no more there. What must I do? Then I came up with the strategy of an independence. The independence, it means I had to say, it means I must go down deeper there and go and collect some other comrades that would believe us and whom I believe unto them, to create why create an independence constituencies? Because of, there would never be any instructions anywhere else on top and so on and so on. I had to push it underground, and in the matter of fact, before I did that, we were promised to be expelled in the ANC based on the question that we are making consultation, and we followed the constitution of the ANC by the time. Now I had to decide to say, no, comrades, I think we need to go independent if that is the case, because our primary objective is development. Then some of the comrades, they agreed with me, Abo Nongeba, comrade Nongeba Ndamane, and so on. Abo comrade Morena, they would agree. Abo comrade Neo, they would agree with me, because by the time we were as young as we are, as we push the organization and the entire society by the time. Now, they've agreed with me. That was 2012. Yes, we collectively to the house, extension 4, Tatusbego. Tatusbego will also come and clap hands together with us. Now, we sat down there, we strategized and say, the only thing that we need to deal here is the question of the entire society development, Kokosi development. Because remember, Kokosi in terms of Gauteng, it is not to be recognized and so on. And there are opportunities would normally get, and those opportunities will never come to Kokosi. They will be going to Kutong, your Wedelas, and your Randfontein, your Begestal, and so on. That's why now I begin to call the public meeting. The first public meeting that I had, it was at Extension 99 in the informal settlement. And why Extension 99 at the informal settlement is because of it was a strategic area where people, they don't stay quite, it is a congested area, And I know for the fact that if one would go there, would obviously get a support. We went there. It was hectic for me, because remember, I was not good in terms of politics. It has been called Extension 99 precisely because it was an informal settlement. The strategy of the GFCC, because our organization, we end up calling it GFCC, Greater Fochville Concerned Citizen. Now, the strategy of us going to Extension 99, it was an informal settlement. Now, in an informal settlement, it was a congested area. And in the congested area, there's too much crisis. Issues of electricity, issues of housing, issues of streets and all of that. So we knew for the fact that once we take care of those people, then Extension 99, that's where we are going to get the support. Because obviously they are crying about such their service delivery moving forward. So that is why we said, let's start there and all of that. Now, we went there. The first meeting that I had in Extension 99, it was a full-packed meeting. And remember, I never had any experience in addressing people. But the first thing that I said to those people and said to my constituents and said to them, society, community, what are you crying about? They started to analyze, to say streets, because they did not understand that is an informal settlement. They said they are looking for a better street, they are looking for houses. Since they've applied to the government, they are looking for electricity and all of that, and so on. Then we begin to say to them, please give us the support. As we are going to give us the support, obviously, we'll try to manage to see to either how far are we going to assist you. But here we are, we want to create the structures. So there were comrades that have been appointed on those public meetings. And then we have appointed those comrades to come and join us. And then we begin to say we can't be reluctant to Extension 99 only. It must be geographically spread so that everybody must know what is happening and they must know our organization, which is GFCC. We start to have public meetings, Extension 9, Extension 1, at Extension 3, Extension 4, where we will begin to have those ones that who are interested to come and join us. Like Abu Comrade Joshua at Extension 3 in 125, they were very much interested, young boys would come and join us moving forward. Abu Comrade Matlaka, like the Extension 3, would come and join us and say we are in Comrades Lucy, so we are pushing it. The primary objective is the question of Extension 6. That was the primary objective then by the time. There was other issues, né? There was other issues, but the most important issue was the issue of Extension 6 by the time. I say Extension 6 precisely because of, remember in Extension 6, there was an infrastructure underneath the soil developed by municipality. After the provincial government bought the land. So now, after the provincial government bought the land, the municipality came with their infrastructure underneath the soil in Extension 6. Now, when they wanted to continue to develop, there was this white person who came to the municipality and said to municipality, hey, stop, what are you doing in my land? The municipality began to be surprised and say, this is the land that has been bought by the provincial government of the ANC. What do you mean? And that white person it was Vesi. Vesi was Daisy. I think it was Vesi was Daisy, but I know it was Vesi. Vesi produced the document that says that the land belongs to him. That's when the municipality stops and sees the whole processes, because Vesi had to take a resolution to take the municipality to Northwest Supreme Court, and the court had to grant Vesi the land, because in terms of the documents that Vesi had, those documents declares that the land belongs to Vesi, does not belong to the government. Now I'll explain as time goes on how did it happen moving forward. Now, in the midst of us mobilizing in 2012, then everybody would speak about SBO and the GFCC and the comrades and everything, you know. Until such time it came to the mayor. We would know there is something that is happening. When we have the follow-up meeting in Extension 9, I received a call from mayor. And I did not know the mayor by the time, you know. Meaning I did not know the mayor in terms of me and her sitting down. But I knew it for the fact the mayor was Mapifo Litsie, you know. Then Mapifo, when she called me, I was in the platform addressing the community, giving them some other information with regard to the developments and so on. I received that call, then I responded. Then she requested us to meet. Because the manner in which we have pushed in the sense that it even came to their level and to their ears as mayors and so on of Merafong. Then I agreed to them. And the reason for me to agree is because of, I said, we can't move so faster in a sense that we can't be able to sit down and engage and see what is it that is happening. In fact, we wanted to get the information with regard to the land and with regard to the proper infrastructures, your RTP and so on and so on. Then we set up an appointment together with her at the Rudo. It was during the course of the week. Then we have agreed. After I spoke to her, and then because we were very honest, we were not crooks and all of that, I had to report to my constituents because I was in the platform by the time, because we had a public meeting. Then I had to tell them that the mayor have just called me now, the mayor is requesting us to meet and all of that. Comrades, we are saying now we are going to meet together with the mayor. Can you please allow us to go in together? They allow us as a constituency. In fact, they started now to give us a trust, you know, to them. They supported us moving forward. And we also wanted to give them trust as well, because we wanted to show them indeed we were not there because of beneficiations, but we were there to be able to assist them in the entire society. We attended that meeting. In that meeting, it was a meeting of information, because that's how we have approached that meeting, you know, to say the people of Kokosi and the entire society are looking for for RDPs, for residential purpose. That's how we will begin to address the mayor. The mayor started now to give us, and then we said to the caucus, let's not speak too much. Let her speak too much, and we make her to speak too much so that we can get the whole information. And indeed, we got the information to say, when the provincial government of the ANC decided to buy the land, Extension 6, they had to board it. And they bought it, but they bought it to Vesi, who's this man? Devin H. Ne? Devin H was the owner, was the first owner of Extension 6. And the provincial government bought that land to Devin H. In the midst of buying that land to Devin H, had to make an agreement with Vesi. Vesi is the second white person who bought the land to Devin H. Now, when they conclude with the deal, when the provincial government conclude with the deal together with Devin H, they gave him monies and everything and so on and so on. Devin H had to leave. And he left the place, Devin H, while he had an agreement together with Vesi. And Vesi is also a white person. When he left, provincial government took a resolution to say, now that we have bought the land to Devin H, let's give municipality and authority to come and install and proceed with the development. By the time the municipality come and install, that was when Devin H, Vesi came out and say, what are you doing? This is my land. That's where the development ceased and stopped. And in that process, he had to take them to court in Northwest, because of Vesi had to take municipality to court and everything. The court granted Vesi the land. That was when the municipality has to stop the whole processes and everything. And remember, Extension 6 was supposed to be established in 2010 in terms of the background and everything. From 2010, that process had to stop. 2010, 2011, 2012, and all of that. After that meeting of the provincial administrator, who's the Rotabile Nkosi, then we realized to say, but comrades, there must be something that we need also to intensify our struggle moving forward, because of the information that we've consumed. It is here on the table. But one way or the other, we know for the fact that the government will take time and so on. In 2012, we kept on engaging together with the provincial government, with the local government, your municipalities, your troika, and all of that. And in the midst of us engaging, you know, the councillors of those days, they were not even partaking, they were not even bothering themselves to come and join us, intervening, and see to it that how far they can begin to assist us. Your PCO administrator, Comrade Biko, they did not even bother themselves, you know, to come. Your CDWs, Abo Nomen, Abo Sheikhs, Kwabeni, they did not even bother themselves to come intervene on the processes. We're independently so. Because my understanding would be to say, because of, as the leading government, they were supposed to come and intervene and say, comrades, let's assist each other. Let's clap hands together so that we assist each other. But by the time we start now to engage together with the local government, pay for your mayors and the provincial, that's when they start now to have an interest to come. And in our meetings, we had to expel them, to be honest of everybody, because they never had the interest from the grassroots level. In 2013, at the beginning of 2013, on the 13th of March 2013, that's where we begin to say now we are taking a very, very huge march so that it should be clear to say Kokosi now is heading to fight. Led by the very same structure, GFCC, Greater Fochville Concerned Citizen. We took a resolution on before the 13th of March 2013. On the 13th of March 2013, that was a legal march, which we have pursued as GFCC. It was a very, 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 very progressive march. That one, my brother, I'm telling you, would normally have 6,000 to 7,000 people on the ground, fighting for their own rights, fighting for their own development, understanding the language that we normally speak. And by the time in 2013, the marches were not fashionable. Were not fashionable. Everybody wanted to be there and everybody wanted to support the processes. So are we stationed in Popomole Stadium? Yeah, in Popomole Stadium. Stationed there. That was when we stationed there. It was the commencement of our own movement there. People, they were there. When we wake up in the morning, we found people there waiting for us as politicians, as activists, as part of showing us to say, Comrade Sibusisi, we are supporting you with the whole-heartedly so in our own midst and so on. Now, we took the march to Civic Center. That's where we are going to hand over our memorandum. We took the march to Civic Center. My brother, I'm telling you, when we get into the corridors of those white people in the town, the white people, they will say, here, these are the fucking kafir, close the door and everything. We were full. We were full, my brother. We were full. Each and every street there, there was only black people moving around, my brother. And I was leading them. As we are approaching the Civic Center, I received a call from the provincial government, which is because I was actually interacting together with Aviva. Aviva said to me, Comrade Sibusisi, I understand the march has been cancelled. Oh, my brother, I'm telling you, I was very crazy because, you know, if somebody says to you as a leader, leading the very same people who come behind you and say the march has been cancelled and it's going to be a chaos, you know, then I said, no, who cancelled the march? We are on the street, we are heading to Civic Center and hand over the memorandum. Who said that the march has been cancelled? By the time that Aviva called me and said that to me, I realized that the ANC now is intervening and sabotaging the program. Because they don't want any other person to be above them here in Kokosi. You know, I started to realize that. I said to Aviva, I was the one that was engaging together with you from the first day. So you must keep on engaging me. When I said that the march has been cancelled, you'll hear from me, not any other person. You must come and collect the memorandum. Okay, no, it's fine, Comrade Sibusisi will come and collect the memorandum. Where are you? On the very same venue, which me and you have agreed upon in the traffic department, in the public safety. Well, it's fine. He had agreed to that, then we went there. There was police all over the place and all over the town and everything, just to protect and all of that. When we arrived in Civic Center, they delayed a little bit, and then the community tried to be out of hand and so on. But we tried to manage to talk to them and so on. But in the midst of us waiting for the provincial government to collect the memorandum, I could really sense that there are comrades that you have brought other members of the community to ban your civic center. So the Comrade Sibusisi must be prosecuted. I'll tell you why. A car of a Nansiga, I'll speak. A car of a Kanoman who came there. That car would have his group as a patrol. We could see that visibly with our own eyes, naked eyes. Here's a car with 2 liters of 2 liters and everything. Now, those 2 liters, they were taken to the strategic other members of community, especially these young people, and with some cash, you know. And when I realized that, I went straight to the subs and informed them, no, this is what is going to happen, this is what is happening, this is what it is other opponents are planning, and so on. Now, we are assisting each other with subs so that we do not want to see anything being banned, particularly government, the structure of the government. The subs are, no, it's fine, we have notified that. They also went to the garage that is closer to the meeting point. They informed the manager to say that he must close, and the manager closed immediately. Now they could not be able to go there and collect the petrol to come and ban the government structure. So they were vulnerable. So you could say that these young boys, they were just vulnerable, they don't know what to do. They was just frustrating the process. Until Aviva came. When Aviva came, then we read the memorandum. Butma Khubile, to be honest of everybody, Butma Khubile was just a young man that was coming from the ANC as well. He was also very good in terms of analyzing and so on. So we had to say Butma Khubile must be the one that has to deliver the memorandum. He read the memorandum, that young man, comrade, and then from there Aviva came in and signed the memorandum and so on. It took hours and so on as part of an evidence to say that we have handed over to him. When Aviva responded, he said that we are not going to respond after 14 days, but we are going to respond within 7 days. It means Comrade Sibusisi must expect the call within this week so that we can come and defend your memoranda. I said, no, it's fine, there should not be any problem. That was then the march went quite very well. I went to SAP's department and they declared the march went quite very well. Like I've said to you, after the march, then we went to declare that the march went quite very well in SAP's offices in Fochville. Then I signed there, then they signed there. And then after the whole processes, obviously it is the question of the public safety that needs to see to it that there's safety in the entire township. But up to so far from that march, I think there was nothing that was done in the township. Everybody would go to their own places and so on and so on. You know, these other young guys, they were vibrant, but they could not do anything because of Oma Perret, they were there, SAPS officers, they were there to protect the entire township and so on. And then I admire for the fact that there was nothing that has been done up to so far. But of importance was that the memorandum has been dished out and we're only waiting for them to come and respond to us. And I'm telling you, in the midst of that week, I received the call from the provincial government requesting us to meet and to defend the memorandum. We went there. The meeting took place in Civic Center. When we arrived there was local government, your your Nansika, your Sidesho was there, your town planner, Nivote was there. I think Nivote was a town planner by then, 2013, if my mind served me quite very well. Your mayor was also there, and the entire Traeger was also there. The provincial government, from the side of the provincial government was Piwe. I'm not sure of his surname, but it was Piwe. Piwe was there. Aviva was also there. Abolemide was there, and your councillors, your ward councillors, Omastona, Abobutingusheng, Inoko, they were there. So when you arrived there, then they began to say, GFCC, Comrade Sibusisi, so please lead us. Then I had to lead them. And I would be very frank with them to say the people of Kokosi are looking for the activists. They want to have activists for residential purposes and so on. So in that meeting, I could sense that in that meeting, it was not that so much progressive in the sense that we could not be able to get a clear response to them. And so on. And remember, the comrades that I was together with them, including myself, were not that so much powerful in terms of politics and so on. But we try our level best to engage and make argument around that, moving forward. And they understood us quite very well, and they promised us, normal circumstances, the government will promise you and everything. That was 2013 by the time. Don't compare the ward councillors and the rules and regulations of the municipality. Don't compel the councillors to have public meetings on a monthly basis. Now, when I say July, it means it was the end of July coming to August. Now, on August, Kokosi was really ungovernable. Kokosi was ungovernable. People now they were saying they really need those houses. The government must come and respond appropriately to us and everything. Now, the protest was building itself because it took almost 2 weeks. So the strike was building itself from Extension 99 to Extension 1. Those ones that belongs to Extension 4, they'll communicate with those ones that come from Extension 99, the strike will build. And for the fact that the leader of a community was also persuading, because I was actually persuading myself, and then I had to persuade the entire township was ungovernable and everything. And I had no any option by the time because I did not have any clear response to my own constituency. And even the comrades amongst ourselves, they say, comrades, let's go and fight. And we fight for the best, and we try our level best that to ensure that the government must come and respond to us. No, ikasi ibivuthumlilo. Kasi ibivuthumlilo Brian, and And it was really hectic. You know, 2 weeks longer, sing a verse and everything. Normally what we'll normally do, we'll wake up early in the morning, run up at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock we mobilize and say support, support, support comrades. And when we say support, support comrades, the leader is there in front. I'm not dodging, I'm not even scared of anything because I've been supported by the elders, supported by the youngsters, society, the entire society, elder people begin to say, let's go and fight comrades. So then I had inspiration. The entire society, they even said, we do not want this thing of a march anymore. Comrades Buddha, I'm mandated by them. Don't want this thing of march anymore, but we want to make this township to ungovernable. And this township was very much ungovernable. It has developed after 3 days on the process of a protest. After 3 days, I think it was after 3 days, if my mind said me quite very by the time. And I remember in July, that was the establishment of the EFF on the 26th of July. We did not know about that. And in August, we were persuading the protest in our own township. Now, the community, they gathered themselves, they move around on a daily basis. Everybody would really see. They started first by burning the house of Comrade Enoch at Station 3. Method of the fact that they said that the Casanovas from Kutong, they were here, and Comrade Sibusisi had a support from other township and so on. And by the looks of things, I did not do any other things. I did not mobilize other township at the time. You know, it was our own younger brothers and a younger sister. There was no Casanovas here. There was youngsters of Kokosi. You know, youngster. I was together with them as a leader myself, because I can't be sitting down and everything. So there was this other group that derived from Elukshin, the old town, and there was this other group from Extension 1, the Tinabesilana Extension 1. When we approached those ones coming together, and then the entire society went to Extension 3 and everything. When they arrived there, because it's a community thing, when they arrived there, then they started to get into the houses, they burned the houses and everything and so on and so on. My brother, there's only one thing that we need also to begin to understand. You know, when there's a change, there's supposed to be done blood. It's giving. You know, it's giving. When there's gonna be a change, there's supposed to be a blood there. You'll never see any change without any blood and everything. Now, they moved burning the councillors from Enoch's house, Station 3. When they came to Extension 4, they wanted to burn the house of Jacob Ungwesheng. Then we had to stop them. Just no, this is not the house of Ungwesheng and everything and so on. They understood, you know, they understood that the leader is talking to them. They went there where Ungwesheng would stay at Station 4, RTP, and then all of that. They went there and vandalized and went there, and then from there. And by the time as they were roving, my brother, you know, you could sense Kokosi now changes. You know, there's mood everywhere and so on and so on. You know, when they go and burn the last house in Gamastona, they said, as soon as they finished to burn the house, they said, yes, we did what we have been willing to do and everything. Now, comrades, let's see to eat that hore, Renyaka Layang and all of that. There was this language that we normally speak and say, Ishobele. You know, when they say Ishobele, and then they had to go to Tandaband. Tandaband is a bottle store, my brother. You know, the protesters, they are tired and everything. They want something energetic stuff to make them flexible. So they had to decide. No one has directed them. We were not there. We were just around the township, Tinabosbu, Comrades, Busis, and check the coast and what is it that is happening and so on. They got inside the liquor store. The liquor store, it was also being banned. The comrades got in there. The society got in there. Everybody, even the elders, they went there in the stores, take food, take clothes, take beers and everything. From there, my brother, we don't want to lie. It was very, very hectic. Subsequent to that, as we received the information, we received the information to say PME has been banned as well. Those employees from PME, they came to our own township and come and join us so that we can move all of us. Because those PME, employees, ex-employees, those were the residents of Kokosi. They themselves, they were fighting for the very same development. So we coupled together with them, and then we move forward. Then we had our comrade Betuel, our comrade Fred, we had our comrade Chini. We coupled together, we said, comrades, let's push, and all of that and so on. And indeed, we pushed. It took almost 2 weeks. 2 weeks. In that week, the government did not respond. In that other week, the government had to, in fact, was disguising to say, must we go and intervene, or what must we do, and so on and so on. That was when I had to decide to say, hey, this thing now is getting worse and everything. I'm afraid because of there's no any other, they will end up going to the government structures and so on and go and ban them. I had to call the MEC by the time. The MEC was Ntombi Mihwe. The MEC was housing Ntombi Mihwe. Ntombi Mihwe said to me, the response of Ntombi Mihwe said to me, no, Kokosi, now I can't deal with your issues because now we have responded to you. And two, I'm not even the mayor, I say Merafong. So go and sort it out with the mayor. I said to Ntombi Mihwe, the society says they don't want to see the mayor here anymore and everything. So that is the reason I'm calling you. The ANC, they could not be able to respond. The district mayor Mponawa could not be able to respond, and so on and so on. Now, there was a comrade who came to me, Comrade Betuel, and said, hey, Comrade Sibusisi, there's a new political party that I think we must make use of it. Because the ANC, and everything. Now, how about to try this one? What is this new political party, chief? Now we have the ANC. And so on. No, it's a new political party led by Julius Malema. I said, Julius Malema? Then they said, yes, Julius Malema. Then I begin to say, is Julius Malema being expelled in the ANC? But yes, Julius Malema has been expelled in the ANC. I was not aware of such things, and so on. And so on. Then they had to give me the numbers, and so on. I had to call this fighter. I was not even used with the link of the EFF, you know, the fighters, the revolutionaries, and so on. I was not used to that, and so on. Then I spoke together with Lifuno Kokoro. Lifuno Kokoro, hey, comrades, Sibusisi, how are you? No, good. Fighters, Sibusisi, I heard that the Kokosi it's in tatters. That new, of course, leadership, I need your assistance. Please, can you please come and try to assist us so that we can resolve, because this thing does not give any direction currently as we speak. But no, comrades, we are there. Don't worry. Indeed, I don't want to lie, comrades, my brother. You know, Kenikunene, he arrives here. And I remember in the midst of us protesting, there were brothers and sisters who have been persecuted there. Because of, you know, there was Caspers, hippos, officers, police officers, Babere, all over the township and so on and so on. But I must say, Kokosi, I admire it for the fact that if, you know, they are fed up, they can do whatever things that they want to do. And they did not surrender to the striking that we've been fighting for. And I admire them for the fact that they've supported me throughout our activism in our own locality and so on. As I was saying to you, my brother, I was being inspired by these people in terms of being on my activism because they've been supporting. All of us go out walking to go to court and support those protesters who've been persecuted and so on. We arrived there, Julius Malema. Immediately when Julius Malema was there, that court was very full. That court was very, very, very full. Some they stood outside. Some they did not even manage to get inside and listen to the processes inside the court and so on and so on. When we come with Julius Malema like this, when we arrive in the township, my brother, don't know lie, the entire township was out there waiting for Julius Malema to come and address them. When Julius Malema got into the stage, Julius Malema, the first thing that he said to us and said, comrades must keep on fighting. We must continue fighting so that we can get what you want. And what you want is what you want to have. We must keep on fighting. Yes, that's my brother. When Julius Malema leaves the place, the struggle continues. We fought. Like as I was saying to you, it was 2 weeks strike. We fought until such time that the government would give me a call and say, comrades, come, let's talk. Then we go there. In fact, prior we go and attend that meeting. And then I called our constituents and I told them that the ANC government called us and they said they must come and engage, trying to resolve our issues. Then we went there in Civic Center again. That's when they declared to say that now we are going to do